Most men think being eager and available makes women want them more. Dead wrong. Women don't crave the guy who gives everything up front. They crave the man who makes them wait, who forces them to feel tension. Holding back isn't playing games, it's understanding female psychology. When you pull back, she starts chasing. Here are 6 brutal reasons why restraint drives women crazy. Point 1. Scarcity creates value. Anything rare automatically becomes more valuable. Men who don't hand out their time, attention, or validation freely trigger her competition instinct. She starts wondering, why can't I get what other women can't get from him? Watch this play out at work. The guy who's always available for every coffee break and lunch invitation, women see him as background noise. But the man who sometimes says, I can't today, I've got plans, suddenly he becomes interesting. That coworker who used to barely notice you will start asking what those plans are. Try this. Next time she suggests hanging out, occasionally say you're busy. Don't explain what you're doing, just, I can't tonight. Watch how her interest level shifts when your time becomes something she has to earn instead of something she can assume. Point 2. Self-control equals power. Most men are slaves to their impulses. They text back immediately, say yes to everything, show their cards too early. When you demonstrate self-control, you're showing mastery over yourself. Women respect what they can't control or predict. Think about that neighbor who always seems slightly out of reach. He's friendly, but doesn't hang around chatting forever. He helps when asked, but doesn't hover offering assistance. Women notice this restraint because it's rare. It signals you have standards and boundaries. Next time you're texting with a woman, wait before responding. Not game playing, just living your life first, responding second. When you're talking in person, end conversations while they're still good instead of dragging them out until they die naturally. Point 3. Tension amplifies desire. Delayed gratification spikes dopamine in the brain. The longer you make her wait for your attention, validation, or physical escalation, the more her mind obsesses. Lust grows in the waiting, not in the instant satisfaction. You see this everywhere once you know what to look for. The woman who gets immediate responses to her texts loses interest fast. But the one who has to wonder when you'll reply? She's checking her phone constantly. That brief delay creates anticipation, and anticipation fuels attraction. When you're together physically, slow everything down. If she's expecting you to escalate quickly, pull back slightly. Let the tension build. The space between what she wants and what she gets is where desire lives. Point 4. It forces her to chase. When you don't collapse into giving her everything she wants immediately, she's left emotionally unbalanced. That imbalance makes her invest more energy. She texts first, initiates touch, starts testing harder to get your attention. Watch how this changes group dynamics. The guy who's always trying to impress women gets ignored. But the man who's politely engaged without being eager, women start competing for his focus. They'll interrupt each other to talk to him, laugh harder at his jokes, find excuses to get his attention. Stop being the first one to reach out. Let her wonder why you haven't texted. Stop always being available for her schedule. Make her work around yours sometimes. The chase flips when your attention becomes something valuable instead of something guaranteed. Point 5. Restraint signals options. A man who holds back is assumed to have other choices. Women are biologically wired to want men that other women want. By not rushing or appearing desperate, you're silently broadcasting that you have abundance. This shows up in how you handle invitations and opportunities. The guy who immediately says yes to every social event appears to have nothing else going on. But the man who sometimes has conflicts, who occasionally chooses other priorities, he seems like someone with a full life and multiple options. Practice this. Don't always be free when she wants to hang out. Have your own interests, commitments, and social circle that sometimes take priority. When she realizes she's not your only option, she starts wondering what makes those other options so important. Point 6. Mystery magnifies obsession. Once she thinks she has you completely figured out, attraction starts dying. Holding back keeps her guessing, keeps her curious about what you're thinking and feeling. Women don't fantasize about the man who showed all his cards. They obsess over the one who kept them wondering. The coworker who shares every detail of his life becomes predictable. But the guy who mentions interesting things without explaining everything, she finds herself thinking about him later, filling in the blanks with her imagination. Don't explain yourself constantly. When you make decisions, you don't need to justify them. When you have opinions, state them without needing her approval. Keep parts of your life private, not because you're hiding anything, but because mystery is attractive. Let her discover things about you gradually, instead of downloading your entire personality in the first few conversations. The men who understand this psychology get completely different responses from women. Most guys do the opposite of everything we just covered. They chase harder when they should pull back, give more when they should give less. Start applying even one of these and watch how the dynamic shifts. Hit subscribe if this opened your eyes to something you've been doing wrong.